Hey, look, I'm just doing this live because they edited. Basically, deal close but not still there. On 2 trillion economic stimulus and larger. So I got one story that says read, and this one says that it is close. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna read it. After haggling for days over final deals, over final details, Senate Democrats in the White House were on the verge Tuesday of nearly 2 trillion stimulus package to combat the economic fallout on the coronavirus on the row outbreak, including direct payments to most Americans and dollar fund to companies. The stimulus bill, by far the largest ever proposed, comes with a price tag equivalent of 9% to the nation's gross domestic product and is meant to provide direct financial aid to help individuals, hospitals, and businesses. It includes for small businesses, 150 billion for local and state governments, and 130 billion for hospitals, according to those involved in the negotiations. Treasury Secretary Stephen T. Munchin and State Minority Leader Charles E. Schumer, Democrat, New York, negotiated through Monday night and all day Tuesday to resolve the outstanding issues. If a deal is reached, the Senate vote on the deal quickly, with the White House potentially following soon after. House members not, wait a minute. House members have not returned recess because of the outbreak, and remoting and is not allowed under House rules. Speaker Nancy Pelosi indicated Tuesday the fastest way for the White House to approve the Senate bill would be by unanimous consent, a tactic generally reserved for non-controversial legislation. It requires the consent of all 430 House members, meaning a single representative could object as long as he or she was on the floor to do so. Apparently they agreed on it. You know what? Let me find hold on. Because what we gonna do is do this right. So basically, on my phone, I have a whole other story that says deal reached on $2 trillion Rona stimulus bill, largest by far in history. And there we go. She found it. All right. So let me share the screen so y'all can see what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. Deal reached on $2 trillion Rona stimulus bill, largest by far in history. Look, God damn it, I did not ask for and cookies and shit. I'm trying to get a stop to stop this shit, huh? Okay. Washington, after haggling for days over final details, Senate Democrats and White House agreed Tuesday to nearly $2 trillion stimulus package to combat the economic fallout of the outbreak, um, including direct payments to most Americans and $500 billion fund to shore up struggling companies. The stimulus bill by far was over the largest proposed, comes with a price tag equivalent to 9% of the nation's gross domestic product, uh, and is meant to provide direct financial aid and help to individuals, hospitals, and businesses. It undergoes 300 million for small businesses, 150 billion for local and state governments, and 130 billion for hospitals, according to those involved in the negotiations. Secretary Stephen T. Him, Senate Minority Leader Charles E. Sumner through Monday night and all day Tuesday to resolve the outstanding issues. A signing on the deal could occur by Wednesday, potentially at least we have a deal. Senate Majority Leader Mitch Connell, Republican Kentucky, said shortly after 1 a.m. in Washington. It will rush new resources onto the front lines of our nation's healthcare fight, and it will inject trillions of dollars in cash into the economy as fast as possible to help American workers, families, small businesses, industries make it through this disruption and emerge on the other side ready to soar. Okay, they believe they can fly. You go. House members have not returned from their scheduled recess, and remote voting is not allowed under House rules. Pelosi indicated Tuesday that the fastest way for the House to approve the Senate bill would be by unanimous consent, a tactic generally reserved for small, non conventional legislation. It requires the consent of all current 430 House members, meaning a single representative could object as long as he or she is on the floor to do so. So, in other words, they can't phone it in. You know, you can't be sitting in traffic talking about yeah, is Pelosi there? I don't want that. You can't do that. If it happens, Pelosi says she will probably need to call back the entire chamber for an in-person vote, a more time-consuming process that would also raise health risks and logistical challenges for members. It could also lead to potential changes to the legislation that would have to be reconciled with the Senate. Despite unusually better partisan bickering Monday on the Senate floor, despite unusually bitter partisan bickering, say that 5 times fast. Dang. Okay. Despite unusually bitter that part. Pelosi said earlier in the day that the final bill would represent a solid compromise between state Republicans who crafted the initial draft with Democrat input and Democrats who delayed passage to ensure it included more of their priorities. We think the bill has moved sufficiently to the side of workers, she said. The measure, oh yeah, because the reason she did it. Hold on, somebody's saying something. Wait a minute, I can't see what you're saying, baby. Hold on. Hey, real mamas. They still playing with our emotions, shaking our head. You got that right, girl. Um, but oh, look, I did not ask for ads. Y'all gonna stop this shit. Okay, so basically, what she's referring to is when the Democrats had vetoed the bill before, and basically because it favored companies and corporations over workers and actual people. She that's what she's referring to right there. The measure is the third stimulus bill proposed by Congress to address the economic and social disruptions of the pandemic. It follows an initial $8.3 billion measure largely aimed at developing a vaccine, and a second package passed last week that mandated greater access to paid sick leave for workers as well as free that thing testing. Because we can't say it online. And you know what? Long as we talking about we can't say it online, let me give y'all some alternative words to use. There is the row. We can call it row row, miss row, co-row, that hoe over there. We can call it a thought show can. Up in everybody. Anybody can get it. Anyway, let's continue. The largest $2 trillion stimulus bill is expected to include direct payments of $1,200 or less to most adult loans, to businesses, and an expansion of unemployment insurance and other aspects of Social Security safety net work and remain inside their homes to reduce the spread of the disease. Okay. The amounts of payment, which officials hope could go out to Americans as soon as early April, will be based on income reported in 2018 taxes, declining declining gradually, beginning with individuals made who made 75,000 or married couples who filed jointly who made 100,000 individuals making 99,000 or above married couples making 109 or more would receive no check. People who receive people would also receive an additional $500 per child. Now let's go back to this here. This the payment, which officials hope could go out to America as soon as early April, will be based on income reported in 2018, which means you can't just go run file your taxes after not filing taxes for years and think you're gonna get a check. It don't work like that, boo. Said something. Okay. Real mamas, I ain't got no damn sense, girl. None. None. Okay. So Schumer said negotiators agreed to put unemployment insurance on what? Schumer said negotiators agreed to put unemployment insurance on steroids. Excuse me. Let me run that back. Make sure I got that right. Schumer said negotiators agreed to put unemployment insurance on steroids. Bitch, the fuck? See, that's why y'all running around here with y'all sick asses now. Y'all, you doing too much. Stop it. By expanding those covered to include people who are gig workers and freelancers by increasing the payments by $600 per week for 4 months on top of what the state provides as a base unemployment compensation. It will put money into the hands of those who need it so much because they have lost their jobs through no fault of their own, Schumer said. No, who the hell through no fault of their own? Do you really think people went into work and said, I'm going to catch the road today so I don't have to come? No. Of course it was through no fault of their own. All right. So anyway, my computer is freezing up. It's acting a fool. So I can't scroll up to see what else is being said. My goodness. But you know what? It's on my phone. Oh, no. Here it goes. Hold on. Other changes to the final bill include increased oversight of the $500 billion fund managed by the Treasury to shore up struggling businesses through loans and loan guarantees. Recipients are expected to include airlines and other hard hit travel sectors. Um, you said airlines and other hard hit travel. Bruh, it's people out here on spring break right now. How they hurting? How is the travel agencies hurting? I want you to tell me that people running around here on spring break. Bruh. Okay, anyway. In a major sticking point for Democrats, the initial proposal gave Treasury latitude to disperse to funds, including the discretion not to disclose for up to 6 months which companies got taxpayer dollars. Wait, let me run that back. In a major sticking point for Democrats, the initial proposal gave Treasury latitude to disperse the funds, including the discretion to not disclose for up to 6 months which companies got taxpayer dollars. And this is exactly why the Democrats vetoed it before. And the Republicans were out there making stories, making it seem like the Democrats were just holding it up for no reason. No, Bill, they were looking out for the people. Grounded the planes. Exactly. People out here flying every which way. Child, the airlines ain't hurting a damn bit. The final deal includes an inspector general to oversee the $500 billion fund as well as a five-person congressional panel. We can I hope that panel gonna be 6 feet apart. I don't know, maybe y'all can use Skype or something. Anyway, Hangouts is available. Let me continue. Um, we cannot have a situation where a company is getting money from the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, that we don't know about. Wait a minute. We cannot have a situation where when a company is getting money from the Treasury, Federal Reserve, that we don't know about it, Schumer said. Others involved in negotiations said the deal also includes around $100 million for hospitals dealing with shortage in medical masks, ventilators, and ahead of an expected wave of cases. That part's reasonable. I can understand that. Going to the hospitals. A $25 billion increase from which was initially proposed, and it provides $150 billion directly to state and local government with the outbreak. What the government finna do? Hmm? What y'all finna do with it? That's what I want to know. What y'all finna do with it? Stocks rose sharply in America around the world treasury in anticipation of the infusion of aid into the U.S. economy. Mm-hmm. Rich people out here just finding any old reason to get richer. But let's continue. If we get this package, we'll be setting the stage for a good rebound in the second half of the year, said Larry Kudlow, the White House's top economic advisor. This is our thinking. The package will ungrid workers and families, Main Street small businesses. And that is the end of the story. Okay, so basically, they reached an agreement or a deal or whatever, and now they just got to vote to pass it. The Republicans was trying to do some shady shit the first time. The Democrats stopped them, and now they trying to make it better. And that is what that is. Okay, okay. And I went live with because I ain't editing this shit. Okay, because I'm tired, and I just wanted to tell y'all this and go to bed. Try to go to sleep. Anyway, that is just my thank you for joining me, real mamas. Thank you for everybody who's watching the replay. That is just my 5 cents, and I'm out. Peace.